Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend, Mr. Stephen Dow. How are you?
Fantastic. And yourself?
Doing awesome, man. We're going to provide some education. We're going to provide something for folks that I really haven't thought about in over a decade until we started talking regularly. But before we do
Mhm.
that, please do that marketing thing that we love so much.
Yes, thank you again. Although I work very happily for Velocity Mortgage Capital, all the ideas and topics discussed on this channel are that of my own. So let's get it going.
I want to educate folks on the power of something called combined loan to value.
Right.
So do me a favor, as somebody in the business, define what that
Mhm.
is and kind of put the parameters, all of that. And then I want to break it down as somebody not in the business, but you first.
All right. Well, I mean, combined loan to value, or the acronym of CLTV, is just the representation of the multiple loans or trust deeds that you'd be taking out on a property as far as the transaction. So if there's multiple lenders, you would have the combination of whoever's doing the first mortgage
Mhm.
at, say, their maximum of 75% in our
Sure.
case.
Yep.
But if that seller, or excuse me, if that lender in first position also allows an additional financing, up to a certain combined loan to value, then that would only require the buyer have to come in with the remaining, portion. So in our case, our maximum combined loan to value is 90%.
Mhm.
So whatever the difference is from my maximum LTV, and or if you only want to do it at the 50% LTV range, which is what we've been discussing, which would then allow me to offer you my lowest rates. Again, if the seller has enough equity and they're willing to carry up to a 40% second, that allows you, the buyer, to only have to put down 10%.
Yeah. Combined loan to value, first and foremost, for folks watching this channel, is not a loan product that most lenders have.
Right.
Even
Now,
most non-QM lenders don't have it. Go ahead.
correct. So, and I was going to add to that because, again, on some of your previous videos, how necessity is the mother of all invention, I guess, in a sense. So, with all these new loan programs popping up, Bank of America, Citigroup, right? So maybe somebody might come in with a second now,
Yeah.
because then we were looking at only from a seller standpoint, right? There are people doing seconds, but mainly on primary residences and things of that nature.
Mm.
But you never know.
It's coming.
People, it might be, because then the necessity is, well, to make up that gap sometimes. And
Mhm.
so I don't know, that'll probably throw on, hopefully add more inventory, things of that nature. But so not only seller can carry the second, but if you can find a private investor.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think private
Yeah.
investors could work. But again, first, I want to walk people through this because, again, sometimes I get so far ahead of myself, I fail to communicate just how powerful this can be.
Right.
Again, why are you on this channel? I've used your service. Why did I come to you first? Because you promised 30-year money on commercial properties for me, an office building and a multifamily. You delivered. Thank you very much. Second, we started rattling off all these other programs about 9 months ago or so. We talked about combined loan to value. I'm like,
Mhm.
there's something there. And again, I want people to realize most lenders do not
Mhm.
do combined loan to value because they're still have PTSD from the last crisis, high leverage
Right.
problem, right?
Yep.
So the
Yep.
fact that Velocity allows combined loan to value of 90%, where they will hold a max of 75,
Hmm.
should get, as an investor, should get the wheels turning.
A little bit.
Yeah, you would hope, right? So again, right,
It's just another tool, because then you're like, oh wow, I didn't know if I had this tool now. Okay, let me see if I can use this tool out there in the world. So um, it sometimes takes a deeper conversation with people from one rental at a time to have them fully grasp the concept. But in almost every single time, once they do, it's like a light goes on, like, oh my God.
yeah.
And as I share more about all these other levers you can pull, seller contributions towards non-recurring closing costs. No, your down payment doesn't need to be a season, just sourced. We allow you to hold title as an entity. Our loans don't report on to the credit bureaus. It allows for a lot of flexibility and other options for you. So and less restrictions. And again, the ease of use is the trade-off for the cost of capital. So yeah, I really think that if people at least give me a call or email me to at least kind of have a conversation to see if this is the right fit, that's really all that really matters. Because I know it won't be everything to everybody,
Mm.
but when something does fit, and it's something that they've never been exposed to, it's usually a great feeling, because then you know that you're doing something good, because it's making a difference, because a lot of people are saving a ton of money.
Yeah, no, I knew there was something here when we first brought it out. Again, it was just you and I talking. I'm like, dude, there's something here. But
Yeah.
let's show people how I got there. So again,
Yeah.
you told me you do a 90% CLTV, combined loan to value.
Correct.
You told me the
Correct.
max was 70. Your first was 75%. So I'm like,
Correct.
so let me just check this out. So you're
Mhm.
telling me on any investment deal I do,
Mm-hmm.
if I found 15% second, seller, private money, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
I could come in for 10% down on any investment deal. You're like, yep.
Yep. Well, with the exception of straight commercial, I'm typically maxed at 70, but everything else, yeah, multifamily, 1 to 4 units, correct. If you're primarily only 1 to 4 units all day long, 75%.
Yeah. Assuming in the right area and blah, 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 right? There's always,
Correct.
but this is just how my mind works. I'm like, let me test this out.
Yeah.
90 minus 75 means all I have to
Right.
find is 15, and then I could do
Yeah.
deals with 10% down. I'm like,
Correct.
I like that. Then you and I broke this down and we're like, okay, where do I get the best rates?
Right.
And you're like, Michael, well, that's pretty easy. At 75%, that's pretty high LTV. That's going to cost you.
Right.
If you could come in
50.
with at 50, Michael,
yeah,
we got something. And I'm like, okay, let's see. 90 minus 50 is 40. So now
and when
all
we
I
started, we were at like 6.25. Do you remember that when we first started the 50?
Today it's 7.25.
Moved a little bit.
Anyway,
but still 7.25. If you go for conventional, rental, investment property now, look what the mad amount of paperwork you got to go through, and the rates aren't that far off as mine.
No, I think most investors today would get something in the 7s anyway. Right. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. So again,
and no 90% CLTV.
No entities, no this, no that. It's just, yeah. So again, this is why I was so excited, because again, I believe we've entered a changing market. I believe we've entered a market where it'll be, the chances of finding motivated seller have gone up just because the sheer quantity have gone down. There's always motivated sellers: death, divorce, job transfer, life events. But in a world with less inventory, it just gets easier to find them. And because I'm creative, my goal the rest of the next 18 months is 10% down and as many assets as I can that cash flow day one, right? And 9% yield is what I'm looking for. And you're going to be a key to that, whether I come to you for 75% because the seller only does 15, or if I get lucky and find somebody for 50, 40, 10. So combined loan to value is a gift that Velocity gives us that I haven't seen anywhere else. So thank you very much.
Oh, no. Thank Velocity for sure. I had nothing to do with it. I'm just along for the ride as well.
Yeah, so we're just holding on.
I'm appreciative too. Thank you to upper management. Thank you to my CEO and CFO and COO. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Yes, thank you. So, but no, it's been very rewarding to be on this channel and to be part of all this. So, and everybody's been great, man. I haven't had one person, who was being an a-hole, and I won't get too colorful because you might have to flip that 18 and over button again. So I am of Vietnamese descent. I do love colorful words. So
you love that.
Shout out to Tatch from yes. Oh my goodness. My man, I think we were separated at birth, something like that, because similar stories and how we kind of,
you know what? We just found video number 3. Let's wrap this up. Let's talk about you and I rap about Thatch in video number 3. But before we do, how do people reach out to you to get on this 40-10 thing?
Email is the best, SDAO, SDAO at velocitymortgage.com. In the subject line, just the acronym ORAAT, which stands for one round at a time. The body of the email, brief description, maybe what you're looking for. Property address would be great as well. At least a minimum city and state where you're looking to invest in to make sure I invest there. Mid-FICO score would help as well. And then the best number to reach you at, typically 24, 48 hours, I'll be in touch. If all you want is an email, I can just email you back as well. So other than that, looking forward to working with you.
Yeah. Again, folks, remember the subject line is 5 letters and 5 letters only, ORAAT. That gets you through the firewall. Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys.